Hi everyone, Mrs. Sheridan here. I am here to tell you all about how the PCMS library works. So we have all sorts of materials here in our library. We have books, audiobooks, movies, periodicals, board games, and online resources. So I'm going to go through all of those for you right now. So book-wise, we have our fiction section. So our fiction section is right here, over here near the door. And these are all organized by the author's last name. And then we also have it by series. So you can tell where these books should be by, I have little shelf markers at the end of each shelf to show you what author is in each section. I am working on getting that updated now, but hopefully it should be all accurate by the time you guys check out books. Something that I do a little bit differently here is I do have some series abbreviations. So, for example, I've got the Small Spaces series here. If you're wanting to know what order they go in the series, you will need to look at the spine label. So all the spine labels start out with FIC for fiction. Then it has ARD, which is the first three letters of the author's last name. And then the next line is in a series abbreviation. So this one happens to be SMA for small spaces number 1. You can see small spaces number 2 here, and so on. So if you are like me and like to read your books in order, that will keep you in check. Next, we have our nonfiction section. So our nonfiction section, I'm going to turn off my camera here so I don't give you guys too much motion sickness. Nonfiction is over on the opposite side of the library. And you can see it is all organized by the Dewey Decimal Number. And you can see up top what is in each section. I also have some of these things here to help you figure out what is in each of those sections numbers wise. And some of them will include some pictures like for military and so on to help you find what you are looking for. We have our biographies right on the corner right here. They are all organized by the last name of the person that you're looking for. And they have the starting number of 92. You can see that right up here. So if you are looking for Taylor Swift, you would look in the T's for Taylor. If you're looking for Abraham Lincoln, you're going to look in the L's for Lincoln. Our graphic novels are right over here. You can see these down here. And those have the starting call number of 741.5. You can tell that I've got it written right here, and it's on all of the spines, 741.5, and then the first 3 of the author's last name. Or if it is like a comic series, I might have it by Spider-Man or Superman or whatever that is. But Dewey Decimal, I'm sorry, that's a pain, but I do at least have them separated over here. We also have a very small English as a second language section. That is found opposite here in this back corner. It's very small. I'm sorry that it's so small, but if you have any requests for that section, let me know. That is for English language learners, and it's books in their native language. All right, I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute about maturity level. So some of you guys just finished elementary school, and some of you are about to be starting high school. So we have a wide range of books in here, ranging from maturity level of Junie B. Jones all the way up to, if it were a movie, it'd be considered PG-13. So you know what you're comfortable reading. You know what your parents or guardians are comfortable with you reading. So you need to make that choice to get the book that matches that comfort level and the rules that you might have at home. So just keep that in mind. We don't want anyone uncomfortable with something that they're reading that they aren't ready for. Along the opposite line, if you're reading a book and it has some language or certain topics that are more adult and you find them really funny after to share it with all of your friends, that probably means you're not mature enough for it and you need to turn it in before you start getting in trouble. All right, audiobooks. I happen to be right here. And so audiobooks are great to either listen along as you read a book or just to listen at home while you're relaxing. So however you want to do it. Playways are my favorite sort of audiobooks. They are an MP3 player that has one book loaded on it. It's really nice. When you hit pause, it will remember where you left off so that you don't have to worry about that. They do have a rechargeable battery on the inside. So if the battery dies on you, please don't throw it away. Bring it to me. I will get you a new one. They also take headphones. So if you have your own earbuds or headphones, you're welcome to use those. Or when you check it out with me, I'm going to ask if you want some and you can use some of mine. You just have to be, and they have to be the kind that plug in. No Bluetooth will work with these. We also have books on CD and books on tape. That is on the bottom shelf here. And books on CD, admittedly, are my least favorite. When you hit stop on a CD player, it won't remember where you left off. And so you'll have to write that down. Books on tape are great because they do remember where you left off, but the tape players tend to break often. Either way, you'll have to check out a CD player or a tape player if you check out one of those. All right, a reference section is right over here around the corner. All of these books are ones that you cannot check out. And that is either because I need them for research projects to have on hand or because they tend to fall apart as soon as they go in lockers. So you can tell that they are referenced because they have REF on the spine or an R on the spine instead of just nothing else on there. All right, movies are over here in this area as well. They are right over here. We have all sorts of different movies, entertainment movies, non-entertainment movies like Bill Nye the Science Guy. That sort of thing. If it's a PG-13 movie, you do need to have parent or guardian permission for that. That is just something that rule that our principal has, so we just have to follow that. Board games. This is something newer that we have. We have a selection of board games here, and how these work is they are in a bag. This is for two reasons. One, you're going to be taking this home, going through your locker, going through a backpack. I picture it will instantly, just the box will fall open and pieces will go everywhere. So they are in a bag so that that does not happen, or if the box does open, it'll just fall into this bag. A secondary good thing that happens with it being in a bag is if you have pets at home, the pet hair will not get into the box as easily if you store it in here. So please, when you pick out one of these, make sure that you put it in the bag when you're not using it so it helps keep it clean and so we don't lose any of these pieces. You will notice when you open up inside, there's going to be a paper in there that just shows you what all should be there so you know that you have all the pieces to return. And if you have a board game with lots of pieces, they might be in a Ziploc bag like this. So please don't throw those bags away either. Put the things back inside the bag. Something I feel silly saying, but Ziploc bags do open. Last year we had someone who just ripped all the bags open. So I do want to point out, if it's a Ziploc bag, you can open it this way and you can close it. These are reusable. So please don't rip those open and be kind to that. Obviously, make sure you return all these pieces. It is no fun to check out a game and find out that pieces are missing. So please be kind about that and make sure you return all of those. Also, whenever you go to actually return that back to the library, please don't put it in the return slot because I'm picturing they'll get crushed by the books. So either hand them to me or put them on my circulation counter. All right, periodicals or magazines. I'm going to turn off my camera while I walk over there. Magazines, you can have one of these at a time. I just ask that if you look at them while you're in here, please don't put them back on this shelf. It gets real messy real quick. And so you need to put them in a return bin or in a basket. But you can see we have a variety of magazines. We've got celebrity magazines, hunting, Sports Illustrated, comics, all sorts of different things are over here. So feel free to check those out. The basket that I mentioned is right over here. In the fiction section, there's one here, and there's another one over there in the nonfiction. All right, online resources. I'm not going to go into this very deeply today, but online resources, if you have any sort of research project, you'll want to make sure you check out our website. There's a lot of really good things on there that you can get for free to help you with your projects. All right, so here's what you can check out. You can check out 2 books, 1 audiobook, 1 DVD or Blu-ray or VHS, so 1 movie, 1 magazine, 1 board game. So remember, you're responsible for all of your materials. I wouldn't recommend that you actually check out all 6 items at once, especially at the beginning of the school year as you're getting used to changing classes, new responsibilities, Chromebooks, all of that. But that is what you can have out at one time. So 2 books, 1 of everything else. All right, for checking out, we do have no contact checkout. This started during COVID, but it's something that I discovered that I liked. So I do have my germ shield up on my counter, but that's really just to help us remember to do no contact checkout. So all you have to do is you would get whatever you're checking out, you'll bring it up to the shield, you'll hold it up so that I can see the barcode, and I will scan that barcode right through the glass. So easy peasy. I think it actually does go faster than the older method of me taking the book from you and so on. So just tell me your last name, show me the barcode, and I will scan it. All right, when you leave the library, any library materials you leave with you must check out. If you purposely take something without checking it out, that is considered stealing and theft, and you will get turned into the office for that. So please don't do that. Everything's free to check out anyway, so there's no reason to steal. Now, if you accidentally leave the library with something, and you realize it later, don't worry, I'm not going to be upset at you. I'm just going to be glad you remembered. So come back and I will check it out to you. I do have bookmarks on my counter. If you ever need one, it's right next to my printer. Feel free to take one. I just ask that you don't take one and like immediately rip it up and put it all over the floor and leave it on the tables and make a mess. That tends to make me not happy. So if you are done with your bookmark, you don't want any more, throw it away somewhere else, not in here. Thank you. All right, we do have a drop box in the hallway. It's near the nurse's office across from the 8th grade lockers. Feel free to use that throughout the week so that you don't have to come all the way to the library and be late to class to just return stuff. I just ask that if you are wanting to return it on the day that your class is planning to come to the library anyway, please just return it in here. That makes it easier on me so I don't have mountains and mountains of books out there for no reason. Plus, then I know that you actually returned it rather than I've had some people lie about returning it when they really didn't. It just makes it easier on me. So please do that. You get everything for 1 week at a time. So I did that just to keep it simple. If your library class comes on Monday, it's due the following Monday. Okay. The only thing you do get board games for 2 weeks, just because I didn't really want the wear and tear of the boxes of them coming back and forth to renew. So this way you get 2 weeks with the board game, and hopefully that'll be enough time to try and play it. I do try to periodically get out overdue notices, either via paper slips or via email, to help you remember what all you have checked out. And I do contact parents or guardians after you have stuff about a month or so overdue. You are responsible for your library materials. If you lose it, you do have to pay for a replacement. If you damage it, just come talk to me about it. If it's something especially like a liquid spill on your book, if we get that right away, that kind of prevents mold from growing, and we can sometimes salvage the book. Sometimes you have to pay for it. If it's unsalvageable, other times we can get it in time. Just be honest with me about it. If it's something that happened, as long as you're honest with me about it, I understand accidents do happen. I only get upset when people try to pretend that they know nothing about it and that it wasn't them. Like, well, obviously this book wasn't soaking wet when you checked it out. So just be honest with me about it. All right, library don'ts. Please do not reshelve the books. There are those baskets that I mentioned, or you can put stuff in the return bin. A lot of times our books will get lost this way because people think they know exactly where it goes. And it's very frustrating when you're trying to find something specific and you can't find it on the shelf. Please do not repair books yourself. If you have a page rip, any other thing that needs repaired, please let me do that. That is part of my job. And I have special book tape and book glue for doing so. If you rip a page or something, just let me know. I will fix it. Also, please do use a bookmark. Do not dog-ear the pages like in the photo up there. It's really annoying if a bunch of the pages are already bent up in a book. So remember, these are library books. They're not your books. Other people are going to be reading them after you. Destiny. Destiny is the online system that we use for looking at books. The URL to get to that is destinydiscover.com if you'd like to browse to see what we have in our collection. The username and password for that is the same thing that we use to log into the computers and Chromebooks. So last name, period, first name, and your ID. Library time. We are open before school from the 7:50 bell or whenever they release you from the gym until 3:15. So I don't want people leaving the gym early to come here and get in trouble for wandering the halls. Just come whenever they would naturally release you. You're welcome to come after school if you know you're not going to miss your bus. I don't mind you to come. I am open until 3:15 daily. And then you can also come during enrichments. If you come during enrichment, that time is to silent read or to check out and go back to class. I've got couches in all the corners of the library. You can spread out, have some peace and quiet, especially if I have a louder enrichment, then you just want to get away from it. You're welcome to come here to do that. So it depends on your grade level on what day of the week you're going to come. This might change, but as of right now, we're going to have Mondays for Makerspace, which I will talk about in another presentation. Tuesdays will be for 8th grade for library checkout. Thursdays will be 6th grade library checkout, and Fridays will be 7th grade. I tried to spread it out from the day most of you come to the library with your language arts class. All right, library door. Due to safety rules, we're supposed to have all doors in classrooms closed and locked at all times. I do have a doorbell because sometimes when I'm shelving books or I'm working in my back office, I can't hear you knock. So the doorbell is there. You don't have to ring it multiple times. I'll hear it after the first time. If my lights are on, that means I should be in here somewhere. If my lights are off, that means I'm not in here, and don't bother waiting around. So I included an example picture here of what it looks like when my lights are off, because I do have to leave my back lights on. They're connected to the computer lab. It used to be all one big room, I guess, before a remodel. And so I have to have those lights on in order for the computer lab lights to be on. So don't wait for me forever outside my door. That's happened plenty of times. I come back from lunch and the kid's waiting there and they said they've been waiting forever. I'm like, well, I wasn't there. You should have just came back later. All right, last slide. Thank you so much for listening to me and getting through this long presentation. All right, whenever you get up to move around, please do push in your chairs whenever you get up to leave. We have some students in wheelchairs, and it's really difficult to get around with these big, heavy chairs in the way, because they are hard to move out of the way, especially from that angle. So please be kind and do that. I do have a wooden return, a wooden return cart. It is over here. Usually it's over here. You are welcome to check books out off of that because those are ones that I've already checked in. Trash can location. We have one by my circulation counter and one by the door, along with Kleenex and hand sanitizer if you need to use either of those. Please tell me your last name when you check anything out. That helps save time. And then also let me know if you go by something different than your first name. So your given name's Timothy, and you want to go by Tim, please let me know. Something I should also mention is where to return books. That is on my circulation counter right here. There is a return bin right here, and that is right where you can return. Well, thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry I had to talk so long, but I appreciate you listening, and you guys have a great day. Bye.